Good morning. In today's video, I would like to focus on upper body strength. So we'll do a nice yoga flow and we will be strengthening the arms, abs and back as well. All right, let's get started. I'm going to tighten my hair up. Come to the top of the mat. Have your arms by your sides. Lift your 10 toes up, lower them down. So you're rooting down through all four corners of the feet. Shoulders are relaxed. And take an inhale, raise your arms, palms touch, look up towards your thumbs, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen and lift, and exhale, step back into downward facing dog. And then pedal your feet in, down dog. Release your heels down, relax your neck, holding here. With a straight back, on your next inhale, you come forward into a plank, and with the exhale, you come back into downward facing dog. So inhale forward into plank and exhale downward facing dog. Keep going. Inhale plank and exhale down dog. Inhale plank and exhale down dog. Keep going here. Fingers are spread, arms are strong. Press the floor away from you. So shoulder blades move away from each other as you're in your plank pose. For the next few, see if you can bring your shoulders a little bit beyond your wrist. And then back into downward facing dog. Yeah? If you do that, you will come onto your toes. And down dog. And you will feel it a little bit more in the core. Let's do one more like this. So with a straight back, you come forward, shoulders beyond the wrist. And exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here. Release your heels down. Then bend your knees, look towards your hands and step or walk forward. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up, palms touch. And exhale, Samasthiti. Again, inhale, raise. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Pedal your feet again. And release your heels down. Good, so this time, as you come forward into plank pose on your inhale, you're rounding your back. And same as you come back in your downward facing dog. So inhale, you're rounding your back, you're lifting your heels up, suck your belly in. And once you're in your plank, you're unfurling. So sternum is lifted. And you're rounding your back into a downward facing dog again. So keep going. Inhale, round, unfurl, exhale. Lift the hips and downward facing dog. Inhale. So move nice and slow here. See if you can lengthen your inhale and exhale. You can pause at the end of your inhale for a moment. And pause at the end of your exhale as well. So again, for the last few, see if you can come beyond your wrist with the shoulders. So you're going a little bit further. You're coming onto your toes. Do a couple more here. And last one. And then go back into your downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look towards your hands, step or walk forward. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up, palms touch. And exhale, Samasthiti. Release your arms by your side. Bend your knees, come into chair pose. Extend your arms forward, holding here. Keep breathing. So if you did yesterday's workout, if you did lower body strength, legs and glutes, you may struggle with this one today. Take an inhale here and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, step back into a plank pose this time. Holding here, your plank. And then lower your knees, so you're in all fours. Okay, hold here. And draw some circles with the hips in one direction and in the other direction. So let's mobilize the spine. We will do a few more here. Okay, so you're in all fours. Then tuck your tailbone under and then lift your hips up. Everything else stays still, so it's just the hips. Tuck under and lift. So do a few more like that. So not a full cat and cow. And then come into neutral position
And now let's do full cat and cow. So on an inhale, you start with the hips. You raise your hips, drop your belly, lift your chest, look forward, press the floor away from you. And then tuck your tailbone under, suck your belly in, round your lower, middle, upper back, and chin to chest. And again, you're inhaling, arching, and exhale, rounding. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. One more each. Inhale and exhale. And the next inhale, neutral position, puppy stretch. Keep your hips where they are. They're staying above the knees. And walk your hands forward and forward. Place your forehead down onto the mat. Melt your chest towards the mat, holding here. Reaching through the fingertips. So if possible, keep your arms straight. And if it's alright for your neck, look forward to bringing your chin onto the mat. And then lift your head up, walk your hands back, round your back. Neutral position. Holding here. And then take your right arm up towards the sky, reaching up. Thread the needle. So you're threading through between your left wrist and your left knee. Come laying on your side. So your head is down on the mat. Okay. Your left palm is next to your face. Press the palm down, elbow facing up, and go a little bit deeper. And then come back. Other side, left arm reaches up. Thread through. Come laying on your side. Press your right palm down. Right elbow facing up towards the sky. And then come back into all fours. Hip circles, cat and cow combine. So you're drawing circles with the hips. You're arching and rounding your back. And then switch direction. Wow. Some clicking going on. It's all good. And a neutral position from here. Okay, have your toes tucked under. Lift your knees up. So you're in your downward facing dog. And come forward into a plank pose. Hold your plank. Place your knees down. Bend the elbows backwards. Not a lot. Ribs together, tailbone is long, so not collapsing into the hips. And then you're pressing up again. Lift the knees and come back into your downward facing dog. Okay, and again, you're coming into a plank, lower your knees, bend the elbows, press up again, lift the knees, back into down dog. Got it? Keep doing that. So plank, knees down, little press up here, and then back into your downward facing dog. Just a few pointers. I know the head always wants to kind of relax, yeah? Don't let it. Keep the neck nice and long. Don't collapse into the middle. Just want to stay strong there. And you don't have to bend the elbows a lot. Yeah? You see, I'm not even going down to 90 degrees. So save your strength and focus more on a good form. Okay, let's do one more. Yeah. All right. Press up. And then come into your downward facing dog. Okay, one more time. You come into a plank pose. Bring your shoulders further forward, knees down, and lower all the way onto your belly. Point your toes. Have your arms by your side. Palms face towards each other. And then lift your torso up. Lift your arms up as well. Holding here. And raise one leg, raise the other leg. Hold here. See if you can raise your torso and your legs a little bit higher. For 3 more, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Place your hands next to the chest. Elbows bending backwards. Shoulders away from the ears. So we will keep the knees down, but press up. Okay? So engage your glutes. Ribs together, tailbone long. And then press up. Got it? And then seat to heel and downward facing dog. Pedal your feet. And bend your knees, look towards your hands, step, walk, or if you want, you can hop forward. Lengthen, lift, inhale, Exhale, forward. Inhale, come up, palms touch. And Samasthiti, exhale. Arms by your side. Interlace your hands behind you. Bring your feet together. Squeeze your thighs, squeeze your glutes. Then lift your chest up, but keep your glutes engaged. Straighten out your arms and let your hands slide down. Get a nice stretch through the chest. Okay, but don't lean back too much. You want to lengthen the front of the body. That's all. And release for a moment. Okay, again, squeeze your thighs, squeeze your glutes, interlace your hands, straighten your arms and lift your arms up. Hold your ribs together. Hold here. Good. Hold here a little bit more. Bring your feet hip distance apart. Fold forward. Take your arms with you over your head. And then hang out here. Relax your neck. For 3 more. 2 and 1. Slowly come up. And then release your arms by your side. Shake them out a little bit. So you can keep your feet hip distance apart as you bend your knees and come into chair pose. Arms extended forward. So in chair pose, you're not tilting forward with the torso. You're keeping the torso lifted. The weight is in your heels and you want to feel your glutes working here. Ribs together, tailbone long. If you want to make it harder, you can take your arms next to your ears and you can sink a little bit deeper. Okay, hold here. 1 more inhale and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, step back into plank pose. Bring your shoulders forward, knees down. Bend the elbows backwards. Point your toes. Lift up into your back bend. Glutes engaged. Your arms are straight. Knees are down. Gaze is forward. And then downward facing dog. Okay, you ready? Come forward into plank pose. And bring your shoulders a little bit further forward. Place your knees down. You can point your toes or keep them tucked under, up to you. And then bend the elbows backwards and you're lowering down all the way onto your belly. Got it? Maybe slide the hands a little bit further back. Elbows pointing backwards, shoulders away from the ears. Good. And then you're pressing up again. And you're lowering down and pressing up. If this is too much, you can bring the hands a little bit further forward and just do your best, yeah? Or you can repeat what we did earlier. You just bend the elbows slightly. That's fine as well. Or you lower and press up. Let's do 5 more here. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay down. Stay down. Good. Have your arms by your side. Okay, have your palms facing down. Press your palms down. Lift your legs up. Lift your torso up as well. Holding here. Let's give the arms and shoulders a bit of a break. Hold here. Keep breathing. If you like, you can rock forwards and backwards slightly. So these exercises are best done on an empty stomach. And then hold. Hold here. Lift a little bit higher. Hold here for 3 more. 2 and 1. Slowly lower down. Place your hands next to the chest. Elbows bend backwards, shoulders away from the ears. Engage your glutes, ribs together, tailbone long. Press up and then come into your downward facing dog. Pedal your feet. Bend your knees, look towards your hands, step, walk or hop forward. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, come up, palms touch. And exhale, Samasthiti. Have your arms by your side. So stay facing forward. I'm just going to turn to the side. You can see better. Take your arms up. Get hold of your wrist. Doesn't matter which one. Lengthen and then lean over to the side. Have a slight bend still in the knees. Keep your ribs together. So I know you can go down there. Don't reach more up and then to the side. Okay? Holding here. So you don't want to shorten the other side too much. And then come up, switching. Get hold of your wrist, lengthen. So you're reaching up and then you're reaching over. Hold here. And release. Arms by your side. Bend your knees, come into chair pose. Hold your chair. Chest is lifted. Holding here for 3 more. 2 and 1. One more inhale and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, step back, plank pose. Inhale, shoulders forward, knees down. Bend the elbows backwards. Point your toes. Lift up. Inhale, back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. Relax your head here. Okay. Come forward into a plank pose. And then lower your knees. You're in all fours. Spread your fingers. Neck is long. And then collapse into the sternum, so your shoulder blades move towards each other, and then press the floor away. So your chest is almost hollow. And again, you're collapsing and press. Collapse and press. Keep going. So it should feel quite nice, actually, to do that. Nothing too strenuous. And the next time you press the floor away from you, hold that. Tailbone long, ribs together. Okay, you're ready. Step back into plank pose. Holding here. Now bring your shoulders forward. If you're taking it easier, you lower down your knees. Or you bend your elbows backwards. You're pressing up again. Yeah? So you're coming further forward. Your shoulders go further forward. You bend the elbows backwards for chaturanga. And then you press and you're going back again. Okay? Let's do a few more. I don't know how many I will manage. Okay, let's do 3 more. 2. So if you're collapsing here into your hips, please place your knees down and then come into your downward facing dog. Pedal your feet. Lower your knees onto the mat. Sit back on your heels to check out your arms, your wrists for a bit. Okay? Right, so as I said, if you're collapsing in the middle, it's not necessarily your shoulders, it's more likely your core that needs strengthening. You're ready for another round. So come into your downward facing dog. So what we'll do is we'll come into plank, do our chaturanga press up and go back into downward facing dog. If it's too much, do what we did at the beginning. You come into your plank pose, you lower the knees and then you're pressing up and back into down dog, yeah? So let's do that one time. So you're coming forward, knees down, bend the elbows, press up. And then lift the knees and go back. Or if you want to work harder, you come forward, bring your shoulders beyond the wrist, bend the elbows, press up, downward facing dog. And again, shoulders forward, press, down dog. And we'll do, let's say 3 more of those. Okay, for 3 more, keep your neck long. Oh, and try not to collapse. In the middle, easier said than done, I know. And then last time, lower all the way onto the belly, all the way down. Good. Release your arms by your side, or your hips from side to side, and then lift your torso up. Lift your arms up as well. Lift your legs. You can stay here or take your arms forward. So you're reaching forward, palms face towards each other, and then raise higher and higher. Hold here, neck is long, and again, if you like, you can rock forwards and backwards a few times. So we're coming into the core, and release. Okay, let's have a little break, right? Make a pillow with your hands, sway your hips from side to side. Then bend your knees, lift your feet up towards the sky, and then sway them from one side to the other. And have them up towards the sky. Straighten out your left leg. Bring your right heel towards your glute. Holding here. And release other side. So not using your hands. Press your pubic bone down. And release. Okay, right side again. This time reach behind you. Get hold of your foot. See that you have your knees not too far apart. Heel comes towards your glute. Holding here. And release. Switching sides. Release. Okay, both at the same time. Keep your knees down. Then bend your elbows sideways. Pull your heels towards your glutes. Hold here. and release for a moment. Okay, sway your hips from side to side. And we'll do that again. So take your ankles, flex your feet, and then press your feet into your hands, lifting your torso up. Keep your thighs down, holding here, and then keep pressing. Maybe you can lift your torso a little bit higher. Hold here, and release. Place your hands next to the chest, press yourself up, and come into a child's pose. And from your child's pose, transition back into downward facing dog. Okay, so I hope your arms had a little bit of a break and you're ready for more. So we'll focus on the core now, but you will have to use your arms as well. So come forward into a plank pose. Raise your right leg up, bring your knee behind your right wrist, and then over to the left and right and left for 8, like a pendulum. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Other side. Come forward into plank. Lift your left leg up. Bring the knee behind the left wrist and then over to the right and left and right and left for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Hold here. Okay, come forward into plank pose again. Lift your right leg up. Bring your knee behind your right wrist. And then lift it towards your right armpit and lower. Lift and lower for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. That wasn't easy, was it? Other side. Come forward into plank pose. Left knee behind the left wrist. Lift and lower. Lift and lower for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Oh my gosh, I'm dripping. Okay, bend your knees, look towards your hands. Step, walk, or hop forward. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up, palms touch. And exhale, Samasthiti. Let's give the arms a bit of a break again. We can't overdo it, can we? Okay, take a step to the side. Stance not too wide. We'll do triangle pose. I'm not sure I can lift my arms. There. Reach through the fingertips. Point your right toes out to the front. Lengthen, inhale and exhale. Hinge your reaching and then lower your arms. Holding here for 3, 2, and 1. Look down, come up, pivot your feet to the other side. Lengthen, reach, and then lower your arms. Holding here for 3, 2, and 1. Look down again, pivot your feet to the first side again. Okay, another round. Inhale and exhale, reach and lower your arms. Now you can stay here or you bring your arms next to your ear. So they're parallel to each other and palms of your hands face towards each other. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Look down, take your arms up on your torso, pivot around to the other side. Lengthen, reach, lower your arms. Stay here or bring your arms next to each other or next to the ears, next to each other, and then hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then slowly come up. Release your arms by your side, and then bring your feet parallel to each other. Good. Now interlace your hands behind you. Lengthen, lift, inhale, and exhale, forward, forward. Take your arms with you over your head. Hold here and breathe. For 3 more. 2, and 1. Slowly come up. Bring your feet a little bit wider. Extend your arms to the side. Point your right toes. Bend the knee. Take an inhale and exhale. Reach forward. Place your hand onto the mat. Other arm comes up towards the sky. Hold here. Bring your gaze up. Holding here. And then look down. Coming up. Keep your front leg bent. Pivot your feet around to the other side. Bend your knee. Inhale and exhale. Touch down and reach up. Hold here. Keep breathing. And then look down again. And come up. First side again. I know you know what's coming. Bend the knee. Place your hand down. Now you can stay like this, or you bring your arms next to the ears. Hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come up. Other side. So you bend the knee. Either you touch down and hold that, or arms next to the ears. Hold for 5, 4, 3, counting faster, 2, and 1. Look down, coming up, and then release your hands, your arms for a moment. So bring your feet parallel to each other. Have your toes turned in. Eagle arms. Extend your arms to the sides. Now take your right arm underneath, left arm on top. Okay, so you can take your shoulders, microphone in the way, or you have your wrist or palms together. Now lift your elbows up. Hands away from the face. And then fold forward and let your arms be heavy. So relax your arms, relax your shoulders. Hold here. And then slowly come up. Release your arms, other side. So left arm underneath, right arm on top, palms together. Lift your elbows, hands away from the face. Can't see what you're doing. And then fold forward like this. So arms are heavy now. And then slowly come up, up, up. And release. Step to the front of the mat. Shake out your arms. Just take an inhale, raise your arms. Palms touch. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, step back, plank pose. Hold your plank and bring your right knee into the chest, then the left and right and left and right and left. And then speed up. Maybe get some air time. You're running for your mountain climber. I'm counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Hold here. And again, come forward into plank pose. Bring your right knee towards the left elbow. And then other side. So X mountain climbers. Yes, you're adding a little bit of a twist. And then speed it up. And maybe you start running here. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Well done. Okay, take your feet and place them outside your hands. Yeah, you can take one foot and then the other foot. Holding here. And then you're stepping back. One foot and then the other into downward facing dog. All right, and again, you're coming forward. So take the other foot first and stepping forward. And then you're stepping back into down dog. Now you keep doing that. You can step forward, or if you want to make it a bit harder, getting your heart rate up, you jump forward and you're jumping back. You jump forward, jump back, and keep doing that. So you need lots of core strength for that. Yeah. Give it a go, even if it's just a small hop. So if we are getting too shy about jumping, our body forgets, and then at some point it is too scary to do these things. So we have to keep practicing. Okay, let's do one more. Jumping back or stepping back, and then we come laying on the front. So shoulders forward, knees down. Ooh, and all the way onto your belly. Make a pillow with your hands, catch your breath. Roll your hips from side to side. Good. And take your arms next to you. Bend your knees, lift the whole shape up. So torso comes up, thighs come up. Simply hold here. It's a nice strengthening for the back. And then slowly lower down. Okay, you can repeat that. Or you bend your knees, catching your ankles. Try not to have the knees too far apart. And you're lifting up here. So lift, lift, lift. Hold. And if you like, you can walk forwards and backwards a few times. And release. Place your hands next to the chest. Come into your child's pose. And from child's pose, one more round in a plank. And then we're done with that, I promise. Okay. So tuck your toes under, lift first into your downward facing dog. And then come forward into a plank. Have your feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Hold here, press the floor away from you. And then dip your right hip down towards the mat. Come up, and then the left hip. And lift. And then keep going. So you can keep it a small movement. And sometimes I see people that go really low. If that floats your boat, you can do that. So I prefer the smaller ones. Keep your neck long. Don't let your head drop. Do not collapse into the shoulder blades either. Okay, let's do a couple more rounds. Don't forget to breathe and then lower your knees onto the mat. So you're in all fours. So when you're sitting back, just check out. I need to adjust my top. Check out your wrist. And then meet me in all fours again. Okay, take your right hand, rotate it clockwise till your fingers face towards you. Have a slight bend in that elbow. Yeah, especially if you're hypermobile, yeah, you can do funny things with your elbows. Don't. And then come forward again, other side. So have a slight bend. And then bring the fingers facing forward. Now one hand, then the other. Again, yeah? If you're doing that, don't. Bend the elbows slightly. And maybe bring your hips towards your ears. Can you feel the stretch there in your wrist? This is also good if you're typing a lot. Okay, good. And then come forward again. And then fingers face forward. Now flip your right hand, just showing you. Palm facing up and fingers face towards you. And again, you have the elbow bend. And you apply gentle pressure here. Okay? And then other side. So don't be scared, we're not doing both at the same time. And release. Okay, come into a kneeling position. Interlace your hands and then just do some waves, some 90 waves. All right, good. And then extend your arms forward, palms face forward, and then flip. Let's do a few of those. So we've done a lot for the arms today. And just to relax a bit. Good. And then release. All right, so in the kneeling position. From the kneeling position, we come one more time on the belly. Okay, so stepping back, and you can collapse. You have official permission to collapse down. Have your arms by your side. And then lift your torso up just a little bit. And then raise your arms up. Okay? See how that feels. So if you still have strength in you, you can lift your torso a little bit higher. But this is more about the arms, because we start to pump them up, up, up. Okay, so we have to keep doing that for a while before we feel anything. And this is a nice one for the arms, for the triceps, without having to be in a plank or using weights. You can do this with weights. I think I've done that before in one of the videos. But you wouldn't want to go beyond 1 kilo. Okay, keep pumping, yeah? Can you feel it? I can start to feel it now. So we're going to switch up the movement. So first you're pumping up, up, up. Now keep your arms up and bring your thumbs towards each other. So they're passing towards each other. Good. and release. Hands next to the chest. Press yourself up and come into a seated position. Have your knees bent and then round your back, hug your knees. And slowly lift up, place your hands behind you and then come into your forearms. God, my hair's in the way. Ribs together, tailbone is long. Raise your legs up, flex your feet, and then extend your right leg, bring it back, and your left leg, bring it back, and then you keep going. So right and left and right and left. If you feel this is too easy for you, you can join me and now do both legs at the same time. Okay? So you can have them fairly high, or you can bring them a bit lower. See what your back says to that. So you don't want to let it go into the back. We want to work on the core. And 3, 2, 1, and release. Place your feet onto the mat, and then slowly come laying down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest, roll from side to side. Place your feet down, arms by your side. Okay. All right, feel the natural curve of your spine. Holding here. And then raise your right leg up. Extend your left leg away from you. If this is too much, you bring the leg higher. So maybe let's start like this. And then lift your hips and lower. Lift and lower for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch. Okay, so lift and lower for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, switch again. If this is enough, you stay like this. We're only going to do 5 repetitions, or you lower the leg further. So you're creating an L shape, and you want to try and keep that as best as you can as you lift and lower. Lift and lower. Only 3 more. Yeah, can you feel it? 2 and 1 and switch. Only 5. Lift and lift for 3, 2, 1, and release. And then hug your knees into your chest and roll from side to side. Well done. Okay. Let's do 1 more. Interlace your hands behind your head. Bring your legs into tabletop position. Bring your knees wider. Big toes are touching. Lift your torso up. Good. Holding here. And then bring your elbows and knees towards each other. So lifting your torso and lifting your hips and lower. So exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. And keep going. So keep the movement small. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Well done. You're amazing, guys. Straighten out your legs. Take your arms next to the ears, and we're going to make a banana shape. So get hold of your left wrist or right, doesn't matter, and then bring the legs and the torso to the side. It's a little banana. And then back to the other side. Nice. Stretch here. And then come back to the center. Have your arms next to you. Bring your knees up, so knees are bent. And have your feet mat distance apart. Okay, and then drop your knees to one side and up, and other side and up. And then you keep going. So one and the other. The next time they're on the right side, keep them there. So knees are dropped. Hold here. And then bring your knees up and over to the other side. And up again. Good. Bring your knees towards your chest. We'd like to do one more twist here. So really hug them close towards your chest, and then bring your knees over towards the right. So they're about chest height. If that doesn't work, you can have your knees a little bit lower down. And then come up and over to the other side. So first the knees towards the chest, and then you're bringing them to the other side. And then slowly come up. Rock yourself into a seated position. Good. And take your right arm up towards the sky. Get hold of your elbows, bending and then reaching, ribs together. And then other side. And first side again. You can stay like this, or you take the left arm behind you, get hold of your fingertips or your fingers or your t-shirt, holding here. And other side, so elbow, and then reach behind you, take your fingers, and release. Okay, so shake everything out. Water gymnastics is about to begin. I'm going to join. Don't judge me. Yes, I am that old. All right, you have a lovely day, and I'm going to see you tomorrow or soon. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.